Hello there, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you're doing well. So I'm Tim and this is a channel all about my hobbies, from CCGs, old and new, to Games Workshop games, especially specialist games. There's board games and basically just any other random bits and pieces that I can share with you. Today we're going to take a flip through the latest issue of White Dwarf magazine. The spine says that it is issue 487. It came out in the middle of April, so I honestly don't know whether this is April's edition or if it's May's edition. Publishing is weird, isn't it? I'm going to preface this flick through, review, unboxing, look at with a bit of a caveat. I am not the most knowledgeable person in the world about the two main games from GW. 40k and Age of Sigmar currently have very little appeal to me, and my main focus really is Adeptus Titanicus, some Necromunda, and I've got the Horus Heresy just bubbling on nicely, sort of as an undercurrent along all of this. That's not to say that I don't care. I have a Necron army, admittedly a grey Necron army, but I have one, and I've got the starting elements of an Eldar army, and that was actually a project that I kind of started during lockdowns. If you wanted to have a look, there'll be a video linked up there for you to check out. And when it comes to the fantasy side of things, I'm absolutely stoked for the return of the old world and getting some square base action on the go, but AOS has just kind of passed me by, really. Nothing against it, you know, just limited time and limited pocket money. By the way, if you are interested in taking a look at my finished Adeptus Titanicus models, and the models are absolutely gorgeous, so not bigging up my paint jobs, the actual models, absolutely stunning. Legio Perseus, so they're white and blue, lots of stripes on them. Absolutely gorgeous models to paint. I'll be doing a bit of a show and tell video coming out soon, so yeah, if you're not already, hit the subscribe, you'll see it when it comes up, hopefully. So what we'll do is we'll change things around, we'll go top down and we'll have a flick through the good old White Dwarf to see what's going on in this issue. Caveat number 2 coming up, but as you can see from this rather jaunty angle, I don't really have a proper overhead camera set up here in the shop. I would say my studio, but it's actually my shop. I'm self-employed. This is, yeah, where I work that I'm filming this. So one day I'll get a proper overhead, so then we can do this properly. But I'll include sort of close-ups as we go through of all the relevant bits and pieces. Anyway, starting things off in the letters section, we've got some really awesome looking models. The Noise Marine here looks wild. Proper early 90s style with all of the patterns all over it. Then there's this Blood Angels Praetor, which is such an ornate model, and the red on it looks really, really good. Flicking through, then there's these Tyranids. They are absolutely insane. Painted by Javier Del Rio. These are so intricately detailed in an almost like pointer list style. Very, very impressive stuff. Just the dot work and just the blending and the colours. Mind-blowing, really. Carrying on then, we've got Tale of 4 Warlords, but it appears to actually be a tale of lots of warlords. They're whittling down the entrance X-Factor style and got it down to these 16 here. I absolutely love the Death Guard-ish Marine and also the orange one here. It's a bold colour and I absolutely love it. From the AOS range, there's no getting away from this absolutely insane wing conversion down here. Next challenge for them is to produce a squad, and there's some real treats in here too. The Custodian Guards look sick, and I absolutely love this Squig Herd up here too. Absolutely amazing stuff. Squigs are just fantastic, aren't they? So characterful. We're then into the AOS, the Age of Sigmar section, and I'll try my best not to gloss over it too quickly. So the first article, Rules of Engagement, is about setting up a great battlefield, which actually really speaks to the narrative gamer in me. Then, after that, there's another part of these Flashpoint even stories and campaign missions. So this says that it's part 5 once we get through the bump and everything, and there's these cards as well. Yep, there we go, part 5 of the Great Stomp, so I'm very late to the party. And yeah, as we just flick past, there's the usual cardy bits to sort of pop out and do stuff with if that's your bag. Then there's the second part of the series, looking at the orcs. Uruk, as they're now known apparently, and there's some great paint jobs in here, and that's about all I've got to say really about it though, to be honest. Onto a section on Warcry, a game I've never played, but it does look very cool. The warbands have some absolutely amazing sculpts. I'm looking at you, sort of skink dart blower, wherever you may be in this picture. There he is. And this looks like it's introducing some new warband rules and quests, which is always great to see when the smaller specialist games get supported. Not only do the warbands look great, but the terrain is awesome too. Almost like it sort of reminds me of being a spiritual successor to the old walkways they released with the Hobbit starter box years and years ago. So we finally enter into Warhammer 40,000 territory. There's a flashpoint about the current Arcs of Omen storyline, which I'll hold my hands up and say that I don't have the foggiest about, other than that we got some awesome Farsight release, and also the Lion is somehow back into 40k now too, with an amazing model. What is really cool is the ongoing support of the boarding actions and the new terrain. It looks so good. I haven't picked any of it up yet. I am still slowly working on my Necromunda Zone Mortalis stuff. Only like 5 years late to the party, but yeah, what are you gonna do? These temporary barriers look absolutely badass and a fun addition to the rules. And I imagine that people are going to get very creative making 3D versions of them, probably. Quickly flicking through all of those kind of missions, and oh, look at that. That is just an amazing spread there. We then come on to a little bit about Red Angel and Angron. Demon Prince, and then we get the heavy metal section. It returns with a quick look at, yeah, the impressively huge Angron here, and it's good to see that. Back here I've gone too far. Yeah, John Blanche getting some recognition and one of his illustrations in here, which is fab to see. The battle report this month, Iron Within, Iron Without. It is Iron Warriors versus Mechanicus. I'll just give you a quick sneak peek of the two armies. Iron Warriors on the top, Mechanicus, loads of Skitari, the Dune Crawler, love that model. It's actually a really, really interesting looking army, to be honest. I think I wrote it off a bit too soon when it first came out. Anyway, I'm going to skip through that section so that I don't spoil the actual game for you. And yeah, you can have a nice surprise at the results. I do like the way that they're doing stats at the end with like the graphs for the tracking the objective points, etc. Stuff like that. That's always good to see. We get ta-da, a tiny bit of Heresy. A nice little article tucked away at the end of the magazine. And this is a look at some Battle Doctrines missions, which basically they're using to spotlight certain units and very specific scenarios. So we've got 3 missions here: Rocks Against the Tide, Line Breakers, and the Hunter and the Hunted. And these all change the Forsog so that the absolutely gorgeous Cerberus is a must include in the list. It's like written into the armies. I really, really do love this tank as well. I do have one of the old Forge World ones, heavy as a brick, yet to field it though in the new edition. There's a bit of a Black Library Grombrindle story to finish off the main content, and then we're into the wrap up with some lovely studio army shots. There's on the next page the obligatory hobby bingo and the teaser. The next issue will conclude the Herald of Misery stuff from the Arc of Omens. Overall, it's been an okay issue. Not a lot of variation, and a little bit sad to see that Warcry is the only specialist game getting some attention in here. There's been some great Necromunda releases recently, the Cawdor that just came out. And Adeptus Titanicus is getting some love as well, which I'm really, really excited about, with the campaign compendium and the re-release of all of the card packs, like the open war cards, which have been much sought after for the past couple of years. I'm going to be doing my best to make some semi-regular content for the channel. I really have missed making videos for you guys. I don't want the channel to die. I really do love sharing about what I'm up to, my hobbies, my interests. But being self-employed, my time is very limited, especially at the moment. I'm only 18 months into my journey of being a shop owner and a shopkeeper. Also, please excuse the quality. Obviously this video hasn't been the best in my opinion, really. So please bear with whilst I work on upping the quality again, making sure that lighting's looking good, that I've got the correct sort of top side down camera angles and things like that to make it a better experience for you guys. Please don't forget to do all of the usual YouTube business, the thumbs up, the subscribing. You can tap it, you can slap it, or whatever YouTubers tell you to do. Also, I meant to tell you to ring the notification bell as well. I can't stand too many notifications on my phone, so you do you. And what I'll do is I'll catch you on the next video, which will hopefully be very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end, everyone. Have a fantastic time. Cheers.